Hey guys, welcome back to ROBS Rigs. We're here in sunny Belgrave at the Sookie Lounge. Here with Shane from DZ Deathrays to talk about some rigs. But yeah, welcome to the show, Shane.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having us. So yeah, you guys are on tour at the moment, going around a bit of regional Australia, a bit all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of a regional run, regional-ish, doing some sort of venues that are on the outskirts of the capital cities as well.
Yep.
But yeah, we haven't done a regional run since 2019, so we thought it's about time, and it's a good way for us to get out on the road, and we just want to play shows. So.
Yeah, nice. And I was going to say, what's your latest single? What are you promoting at the moment? What's like the latest thing you guys have done?
Well, we just put out a new single called Like No Other. And we had another single last year called First Night Fever. They're both kind of coming towards a record.
Yep.
But yeah, we're just putting out songs and playing shows. It's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, just putting out singles leading up to an album.
Yeah, so an album hopefully around October. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All right. And yeah, have you got any tour plans kind of coming up as well, like heading out?
Yeah, so we got this one, which is like 25 shows, and then we head on the road with Death from Above. And they're coming over to Australia. We're doing 4 shows with them, and then we go to Europe and we do like 4 weeks over in Europe.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are kind of the perfect band to go around with Death from Above as well, right?
Well, they were like a pretty sort of, when we first started, they were the band that we were kind of essentially ripping off. We were like, how do they do that? And kind of, obviously we don't use bass, but the other way, and we kind of, it's like if they can do it, we can do it. And then, we've morphed into a band that's 3-piece now, and then at some points we've been 4-piece as well. So yeah, we kind of just, however we need to do it, we do it.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, and for anyone who looking up just Death from Above, it's Death from Above 1979 as well. It's like for the people who don't actually know. But yeah, so well, this is a show about guitars and about guitar-related fun crap. So, where did guitar all start for you?
When I was about 13, I got an acoustic guitar from my dad for Christmas. I really wanted one. Some of my friends play guitar at school. And I was always into like music and singing and stuff, but when I was little, it was very much like old music or pop music, and then I turned 12 or maybe 11, 12, and I started getting into rock music, and then 13, meeting all my friends at school in grade 8, and they were getting all music from their older brothers and stuff, so got into Rage Against the Machine and Metallica and all these sorts of things. So and just became like really wanted to play in a band and wanted to play guitar, and so I learned on an acoustic. I had a bass. I played bass in the band. I played a little bit of guitar. I was never as good as my mates, so they always played the guitar, and I kind of jumped on the bass. But I just didn't really know what I was doing, and just started playing and just writing 2-note sort of things, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I think I've got a song, and it's like 2 notes. But I was like, I loved the idea of like writing a song and writing a melody over some guitar. So I just sit around. My dad would go to work, and I'd go out on jobs with him, and I'd sit in the car because I didn't want to go into some random person's house while he worked on their carpet, and it was like just sit there with my acoustic and just play.
Sweet. Yeah, nice. Well, let's get stuck into your guitars then. Okay, so what do we got here? What are we playing at the moment?
This is a Fender Powercaster.
Yep.
I've had this guitar, I feel like for about 6 or so years now.
Yep.
It's my favourite guitar. Yeah, I've had a bunch of Fenders, and I'm endorsed with Fender, and they've been awesome and given me a lot of guitars. So this one was like a limited run that they did. I can't remember what it was called, like the Other World or something.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like it's like a sort of like someone left a Jaguar in the oven a little long. Like it's kind of not quite the same proportions. But
it's slightly different. But I always love this sort of like hard tailpiece here. It's sort of locked in. I've got a Stratocaster here as well, which was I think the first guitar that I got from Fender, and with the floating bridge, I've actually just locked it down with an extra spring underneath so that it stays as in tune as possible.
Absolutely. And knowing the way you play, I can understand.
That's it. And I think, over the years I was a bit like, I need to have these things. They need to be rock solid. So
and you guys are gigging night to night. You need it to.
Yeah, totally. And it was just, I think sometimes I rested my hand on there. It was like pitching the strings up. So this is it's a great design guitar. It's really basic. You know?
All right.
So it's just a 3-way switch.
Yep.
P90 style on the neck.
Yeah, that was my next question. Yep.
Yeah, and then a humbucker, which is not this is not the humbucker that comes with this guitar.
No. So what is that? That's a X3.
Yeah, it's a Allen Entwistle. They're like really cheap, like $50.
Really?
But it's ceramic, and it's really high output.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I want to say I know, but I think it's around 17 point something K. So it's quite high, and what I find is when I'm doing the split thing and going to a bass amp, having this ceramic pickup, it's less definition, but it actually feels a bit more squished and compressed, and so it works really well when you're playing through a bass amp.
Yeah.
And I first came across these pickups. I have a Burns, I think it's called a Burns Marquee 3 or Marquee R3 or something. So, and I hit them up and I said, hey, I love this pickup. What is it? And they said, oh, it's. And the guy, Alan Entwistle, got back and said, oh, it's pretty much this pickup, but it's white. He said that would be the closest thing. So I bought a bunch of those and just chucked them in all the guitars. And
hell yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of part of the sound. It's not like the nicest sounding thing. You know, you play chords, it's not going to ring out, but playing like sort of fat, like low notes, it works well.
Yeah, so it's about function, not sort of about form. It's about like how it works within what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not for like playing in like a band playing like nice chords.
Yeah.
It's for playing riffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna have to look those up actually.
Yeah.
But and I was also just going to ask, is this a short scale as well? Is this a?
I don't think so. I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. I think it's just regular.
We'll
Whatever
put that,
Fender comes at. Yeah.
Yeah. In the comments or something.
Yeah, but the neck on this is, I think it's called a D.
Oh yeah.
Shape. It's quite narrow.
Yeah.
And so it's really easy to play.
Really, yeah. And what gauge of string are you using on here?
I use 10 to 52s.
Heavy bottom light tops. Yep.
Yeah, I've used them since actually like 2004 or 5. I think I got onto them, and then I've actually had guitars set up with some heavier gauge strings. But what I found was they lost a little bit of sustain and a bit of like chime. And I still want that. So sometimes this is tuned to drop D. But sometimes we tune C, A, D, G, B, E. So just this string goes to C and kind of like, you know, it gets a bit flabby. Yeah. And so it's kind of a difficult thing to get between this sort of 52 and then going to the next ones. But then what I find is that it kind of gets a bit dull on the heavier string. Yeah. And because also I'm tuned, everything else is in standard, it's also quite hard to play. Yeah. So 10 to 52 seems to be the good balance. Yeah, it's that sweet spot. And that's on both guitars, right? Yeah, that's on both guitars. Yeah, so over here, I was just going to say, like, because your other guitar, so you got the Fender Strat, you know. Again, you've got your same, what was it? It was Allen Entwistle, Yeah. And then just stock there's
humbucker
stock, and Ecos.
Yep. And are you mainly riding that back pickup on this one?
All the time. Yeah. Everything on like live is just the back one.
Yeah, nice.
In the studio, I'll swap pickups and see what sounds best. Yeah, but mostly it's just on the back one.
And so is this tuned differently to, or is this just
that's
a
in drop D as well. Yep. Yeah, it's a backup. Well, sort of. We essentially just carry 3 guitars, but one of them goes down, we can grab another one. We used to have 4 on the road, but we got lazy. Yeah, it's just another one to carry, right? Like it's another thing to check in, like totally. Absolutely, nice. And of course, locking tuners on the back. Yeah, I've just sort of put all those ones on there, and also stretchy straps as well. This ugly thing that some people hate, but I kind of think it looks like a bit like a 70s car, 60s car. Yeah, coming out. That's But just reverse it because obviously I use a right angle jack. Yeah. You can't put it into a Stratocaster. 100%. So, there's you can get flat ones, but I just always flip them. Absolutely. Some people think it's gross. No, I mean, I've never thought of it, and I feel like an idiot that I've never thought of that as an idea. Like it's so obvious. I'm constantly like Telecasters, and then Strats. I've always not really wanted because of that. Of the recess. Yeah. I'm like, the cable's too hard to plug in. That's a really lazy thing to say though. So from here, we're running into the Helix down here. So, main touring rig. Yeah, we started using them in 2021, I think. Yep. We went on tour with Regurgitator, and the first show was in Brisbane, and we were playing a festival in Melbourne called Ability Fest.
Yep.
And so we had to fly from Melbourne, do the show at Ability Fest, fly to Brisbane and do the show in Brisbane.
Yep.
And so I had my other pedal board, which is loads of pedals, in Brisbane ready to go. And we got these and set them up so that we had an A and B rig. In case this didn't make it, we had the other one in Brisbane ready to go.
Yeah.
And once I started using it, I was kind of like, I love this thing. So just kept using it, and it's way smaller and lighter.
Yep.
And I can just set up, songs with a sort of switching style thing. Because it took a little bit to work out how to do it, especially turning on and off amps. Well, not, signals, cutting signals.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, a question with that as well is there anything, because like this obviously is a do-all for you now. Mm-hmm. Is there anything from that board that you used to have that you kind of like, I kind of wish I could just have that still though?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
or is it kind of this, this
kind of,
hits the nail?
Yeah, it took me a little bit to work out, but now I feel like I'm at the point where it all works. So I used to sort of have essentially 3 channels. I'd have a DR Sans amp Para Driver, which was my kind of clean tone. Yep. And then I'd split from that to a small Helix and a dark glass and a Sans amp VT. That was my bass tone, was the dark glass, and then I had a Helix as my guitar tone, but I had all pedals running into it, and then that would split to amps as well. But it was kind of like switching from 1 to 2 and 3, but when it was kind of a weird routing thing where 2 would actually run back through 1 as well. So then you kind of get 1 or 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3. Yep. And it was like a weird thing. It worked really well using like stereo out of delays and stuff to go back into itself. Yeah. It meant I could go from really small to really large with like one press of I used like a Boss line selector, and then I had a gig rig as like a ABY pedal. Yeah. So the line selector would go from here, or it'd go to ABY, which then split to 2. So it was quite a lot of routing, and I did all the cables up for it. But
we might put a little like diagram on the screen of what it looked like.
A lot, yeah. But then this one is, it's a little more simplified. Yeah. And essentially because you can control multiple parameters with one button, it means I can kind of just go, hey, this is just this amp with this pedal on. Yep. And then if I press this button, it turns on these other amps with these pedals, and then it just meant that I used to go for like on off, and now it's like switch between things. Yeah. Had to train my brain to get back to go to this sort of style switching.
Cool. No, that's so good. And like you so with this, let's try some sounds out. So I guess what maybe give us like Gina's probably like your biggest hit, right? Like so I mean, like maybe like what would you kind of be running for like that?
We'll go right through to where it is in the set. There it is. So this is like the. So that's just like we have a look on.
I'm just going to turn up. Is this the volume for the?
Oh yes, it is. Yeah. There you go.
So I'm listening on headphones. So I mean, if I have the headphones on, I'm probably going to scream through this microphone.
Okay.
But I'm listening through headphones because it's all IEM.
Yeah.
So we can't hear it right now, but I'm hearing it, so I know what Shane's playing. Yeah. But,
and you're getting the signal recorded too.
Yeah. So you guys, they'll all be able to hear the sound. So so what are you running kind of in that space?
So this is just essentially I just rebuilt what we use in the studio, and I've got an octave pedal that's going an octave up, and then a distortion.
Yep.
And then it goes, so this little block here is a split.
Yep.
So that splits to the amp, so essentially octave and distortion go to the amp. And then it has a modeled amp, which is a 2203, which is a JCM 800 style thing. And then I use dual cabinets, I'm pretty sure, on here. So. There's a 410 Tweed and a Brit. I've kind of just got a blend of those two cabs in there. So at the start of every thing, there's essentially like a volume pedal, which is either fully on or fully off, and that's how I will turn things on and off. Mm-hmm. So at the moment, it's just guitar. Yep. But if I was to go there, you can see that the volume pedal on the bass line.
Yeah.
You get both.
Yeah.
Sort of as easy as sort of that's kind of how it is, and yeah. And then the bass again does a similar sort of thing.
Sounds unreal. Yeah.
And I have a compressor, an octave to go down, and then I have a preamp.
Yep.
And a distortion and a preamp, which goes to the bass head.
Yep.
And then I split before the distortions, and I go to a little bit of a preamp and then a split, and that goes to this bass pre. And that's kind of a cleaner bass tone, so front of house can compress it, get that attack of the kind of bass, a bit more, kind of make it feel a little more natural. And what comes out the amp is like dirty, it's like fuzzy bass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can get the blend of both of those.
Nice. And of course, that's a kind of a like balls to the wall, like hit you in the face kind of riff, I suppose.
Yeah.
You guys also have the lighter kind of things. I mean, have you got anything in there that you kind of, what's like a particular sound that you're quite proud of that's quite light? I mean, something that you're a bit like, oh yeah, that was pretty sick.
I mean, I kind of just, I feel like when we get, when it comes to playing live, it's more about functionality than a lot of like trying to find that perfect tone. I'm like, okay, how do we get the message across of what we're doing?
Yeah.
But I sort of go to something like this as a bit more of a cleaner tone. Yep. This is like the intro for Kerosene. So then I can kind of so you can switch from really small to
just massive.
Huge.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that massive drop is always what's fun in the crowd as well.
Totally. That's what we're all about. Is like just loud, quiet dynamics.
Yeah, the drop. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, now one of my favorites of your tunes is Less Out of Sync.
Yeah.
And that opening kind of delayed, kind of like weird, chimey thing.
Yeah, it's just like a pog. It's just a pog 2, I think, or a micro pog.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have anything.
I was going to say, is it in the set list at the moment?
It's not in the set list at the moment. I know.
You break my heart.
I know, but like I guess if you were to sort of, just trying to think what, this will have the bass on as well, but
yep.
Just playing those notes. Actually, what I have been doing on this tour is actually putting a delay through the bass as well, so it's really like a huge wall of sound kind of noise.
What I'll do actually, I'll make sure that all you guys, I'll just, because the bass and the guitar here are split, I can just turn the bass off for when you were just playing that, and then you'll get the sound of the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, it's not sort of perfect, but that's kind of the thing. I mean, what I love about the Helix is just having all the synthesizer stuff. Just having the ability to put a synthesizer in there if you need it. Or if we go down to something like Cops Capacity. So slap, but then a synth thing. So there's like, all that sort of stuff on there, and I think that's why I love this thing so much, is there is so many different options on there.
Yeah.
And there's all the legacy stuff that Line 6 would have had for years that you can just go in there and it doesn't use much DSP, and you can find some really interesting wobbly synthesizers or cool attack synths and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. Now, one thing I did notice is you've got sort of a very, did you make this plastic cover that's like on top of everything?
They're called K Shields. They're from, I think from Poland.
Really?
Yeah, I just ordered it online.
Yep.
I just, it's just an extra bit of protection in case a beer bottle comes flying over at some point.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and I mean night to night, it's an expensive piece of kit, right? Like it's
yeah, totally. And it's
you
kind of look after your stuff.
Look after your stuff, kids. And then so just at the back, you're still running amps, which I love.
Yeah.
So that gives you vibe, right? Is that kind of
totally.
like stage vibe?
And we have a microphone on there too. So when front of house has the Helix, and then they can pan the Helix and the amplifier left and right. The bass amp gives bass on stage. And I mean, they don't really take, for us, they don't take any tone out, but yeah, that's just more for, like if you don't have any sound, I feel like the front row and these venues just, yeah. They lose something, it's just cymbals, so.
Yeah.
You gotta have that, if you're a punk band, you gotta have that power and push from the stage.
100%.
But yeah, I use...
So, Hot Rod Deluxe, is it?
It's a, Hot Rod Deluxe. I'm using a tone hammer on this tour. I love these amps, but...
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're so
like
small.
The road cases, this is huge.
And this is I think this is a Neo, Fender Neo cab.
Oh, so it's one of the lightweight?
Really lightweight. Yep. But yeah, I use a Fender Rumble, or I use a Super Bassman, or a 800T. But yeah, I mean, this is just a great, clean, small amp, and I just, for these rooms, just plug it in, and it's really good to use. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we've done start to finish now.
Yeah.
Got a new thing that we're doing here on ROBS Rigs, where now I don't know if you've got a hot take on guitarists or something that just like any opinions that you can give us on.
I mean, I guess the only thing is what I've noticed, especially after using like modeling, and is the majority of the time no one out the front in the crowd cares. That's kind of the, you know, it's cool using amps, and it's like, but you give the sound person so much control having something like this. And so I slowly morphed into someone who really loves this sort of stuff, and mostly because it's just so easy to use, and every night sounds the same. But yeah, I think out the front, most people are kind of like, cool, sounded like a guitar.
Yeah.
That's it, right? It sounded loud, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100% agree. Like, I've noticed so many people, but it's interesting. I think like so many people swung real hard towards Helix, Kemper, you know, Axe effects, and then just went with that, and then on stage didn't quite feel right.
Yeah, well, we did it a few times. We've done some tours where we haven't had guitar amps, and it lacks.
Yeah.
And usually it's just because we haven't had space.
Yeah.
But I always, even just a small amp, chuck it in. I just bought like a tiny little head, like an orange head, just to throw in the gig bag, get a cab, and just plug it in, and always have the sound on stage.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Look, Shane, this has been great. Thank you so much for being on ROBS Rigs.
No worries.
And
thank you, man.
yeah, easy. And we'll catch you next time with wherever we are next.
Yeah.
Have a good gig, man.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Cheers.